Well, I think we've come a long way. I remember when Jan Jones was elected mayor and what a sea change that was. And, when I was sworn in as speaker and I gave my speech on opening day, I said, I look forward to a day when there are no more firsts, when we're not remarking that the Speaker of the House is a woman. And next session, Assemblywoman Marilyn Kirkpatrick will be sworn in as the second woman in the history of the state of Nevada. And it will be interesting to see how many people comment on that, or whether, again, we're beginning to take it for granted that women are in positions of power. That is the goal. When one day our daughters, our granddaughters kind of remark, "What? You mean there was a day when women weren't in power? You're kidding me, right?" That's the day we want to see. When you begin seeing more and more women elected and issues not looked at as women's issues, that was the one that always drove me crazy when I first arrived at the legislature. There were, quote, women's issues. Really? Education is a woman's issue? Healthcare is a woman's issue? No. They are Nevada issues. They are American issues. Those are, international issues. And so I've seen change. I've seen change in the way subject matters are looked at, and I've seen change in that the leadership circles now include women. One of the things I really enjoyed about my legislative service and becoming speaker was that I had a major role in recruiting people to run for office. And I would call people up. You'd look at the lists of people that live in a district, and I'd find people I knew or that other people knew, and I'd call them and say, "Hey, would you be willing to have lunch with me?" Most people say yes. So you go to lunch with people, and I'd say, "Hey, the reason for my lunch is I wanted to ask you if you would consider running for office." And the difference between the men and the women, the women would always say, "Oh, me? Am I qualified?" And I'd say, "Okay, you're running a small business. You were a teacher for 30 years. You raised incredible sons and daughters. You're accomplished, you're smart, you're articulate, you have a great work ethic. Are you qualified? Yes, you're probably overqualified." And sometimes I would ask a man, and one of the first questions he would ask is, "How much does it pay?" Love that difference. But I was able to recruit a lot of women to run for office, and men too. But it's so great, again, it's having people realize what's possible. Very smart, accomplished people thinking they can't do it, when of course they can. The only thing that is stopping them is their inability to see that they can do it. I think it's having a tough skin to get through the election cycle, and then being organized, having vision, stepping back and saying what's important and what's not important, spending your time, which is your most important resource, on things that make a difference, as opposed to, fluff. Those are some of the key attributes, I think, that separate an average legislator from an outstanding legislator, and keys that women need to have in order to succeed in the political world. If, of course, you want to be a workhorse, if you want to accomplish something, as opposed to, just occupying a seat.